We of course have to start with the original, the Glock 19. Now, this particular Glock 19 is far from original. In fact, the frame is about the only thing that's still stock on it. I've talked about this before. I have a love-hate relationship with the Gen 3 Glock 19. Like many of you, I bought one because I had heard of it, and it's what the guy at the gun shop recommended. And like many of you, I quickly found there were some things that I just didn't, as I was still learning to handgun, there were things that I felt like the gun was holding me back on. It was 100% reliable, but some stuff just wasn't quite right. And so this being over a decade ago, I dumped a lot of money into this gun, more in parts than what the gun was worth before finally moving on. I don't have the stock parts anymore, so our example here is not pure. This is an L2D Combat slide. I forget who made the barrel. Got an L2D Combat fluted steel guide rod in there. Taller sights to make it co-witness with an optic, with a red fiber optic. I've got some goon tape type stuff on the right side here because I did find the Glock 19 to be slippery in competition and courses, because I did use this quite a bit back then. And I believe it's a Ranger-proof arms trigger in here. Oop. That was quicker and lighter than I expected. Got a light take up to a wall, light roll through brake, of course that Glock signature reset. And then the biggest one for me, and it was part of what moved me away from the Glock 19, but a part that saved it, was this magwell. This is also from L2D Combat. Not that I needed any help reloading. Reloading is pretty easy when you've got a single feed double stack magazine, but you see how it keeps my pinky out of the way from getting smashed. That was a big thing for me because in competition and in courses, I'd be shoving in that mag on reload and I'd inevitably pinch my pinky because it just didn't fit the Gen 3 Glock 19 frame. Additionally, the amount of space from the undercut to the first finger groove doesn't fit my finger, which pushes the rest of my fingers off, and I end up riding on the high spots of the finger grooves instead of in the grooves. So absolute worst case scenario. But it is our baseline, it's what everything's built around, and I figure most of you probably have tinkered with your Glock 19 anyways, so me having a tinkered one as the baseline should be fine. We will start, of course, with the Glock 19. Mine is far from stock, but I don't even know where the stock parts are. I bought this thing used over a decade ago. Starting from low ready. Any day now, buzzer. Five, two, one. Grouped nicely. Everything A-zone on that target. You can see hopefully you saw the yellow marks. We'll pause to let that cool, and I'm going to reset the targets. Immediate thoughts. I remembered what I didn't like about this gun, and that is the finger grooves perfectly misalign for my hand. I end up with my fingers on the height of the grooves, so I've actually got kind of like a skinny, ribby gun to hold on to up front. The L2D Combat magwell that's on here is what has saved me from mag pinch and being able to control the gun, because it gives my pinky a spot to rest. Otherwise I would be floating. This trigger, I believe, is a Ranger-proof arms trigger. I don't know, but it did pretty well. There's a lot of other things modified in this gun, a steel guide rod. Obviously the slide is aftermarket and lightened and all of that kind of stuff. But did pretty well, and I've got to say, to memory, that's better than my best with the CZ75 group. All right, I'll reset and we'll do the next one.